Yes. Good afternoon sa lahat ng ating senior high school students. And today naman is our Creative Nonfiction Tuesday. Thank you for choosing English Day today. Uh, Actually, ako lang mag-isa ngayon. Wala si Tutor Jerry. I think he is going to uh, go through like a comprehensive exam for his masters, and we wish him luck. But for you, our viewers, no, our 7 viewers right now, please share our session sa mga kaklase ninyo, sa inyong mga GCs, to your friends, para sabay-sabay tayong matuto. Welcome na naman sa ating creative nonfiction. We are now on our session 2 sa quarter 4. Ang bilis-bilis lang actually ng mga araw, no? Uh, last week, kakatapos na natin ng quarter 3. Now, we are on our second week sa quarter 4. Hello pala kay Peter John Codilia Isip. He is actually my classmate sa Masters. Hi, Abigail Labuguen Agustin from UMS 12, Socrates, from SDO Isabella. Guys, we appreciate you coming here. Siguro yung iba nag-face to face na ngayon. We wish you luck sa lahat ng inyong ginagawa no sa school, and hopefully this session will help you sometime know when you will hit like replay and rewatch this in the future. Hopefully this will help you in your classes. So let's get started. No, ayan. So today, last time we learned about how to critique. No, before nag-critique tayo ng isang kind of like personal essay. Today, we will be learning how to critique biographies and autobiographies. No, and actually, naisip ko na, what if we get to know biographies and autobiographies first before we learn how to critique them? And so today, I will do just that for you. Okay? So before we do that, let's recognize some of the amazing students who did so much great, great job and such thoughtful critique nung last challenge natin last week. Hello pala kay Cristel Kate Pascua Casella from UMS 12 Herodotus. Teacher niya pala si Sir Jerry Sal Corpus. Okay, so last time we asked you guys to critique a an excerpt from a memoir, no? And here are the 3 students who really kind of stood out. And first is Keith RGC Runas. That's our first studio of the week. And she actually had this kind of like, I don't know what it is. It's like an edited photo, kind of like conceptual art, which is really nice. So this is what she said. She said, Kit Nadados We Used to Be explores the theme of growing apart from those people we think will stay, of friendships that we think will last. On the get go, the topic sentence is really profound and very specific as well. She recognized the theme of growing apart and like the estrangement of friendship. No, hindi to may iwasan because not every friend you will have in your life will be your friend forever. Sometimes actually a lot healthier to kind of let them go. And she has all of these thoughtful piece of evidence na talaga namang napakaganda. And I especially love the way she ended this. She said, nonetheless, they had parted ways, and Kit never looked back, as though he had accepted the fact that people grow apart and that friendships that we hope will remain are never guaranteed. Oh my goodness, that was very profound, and you speak the truth, Keith RG. So thank you so much. You are brilliant, and I don't get tired saying this to you. You are born to be a writer. So great job. Hi pala kay DJ. Kay Sir DJ, sir. Lost din kita forever. And hi kay Atina Faye L. Viernes. Okay. Next is from John Marie Sibal. No, John Marie Sibal kind of talked about the same theme. No, according to John Marie, Kid That We Used to Be explores the theme of temporary connectedness. That's very specific and direct. No, and then towards the end, he said, however, the last moment they hold the tie of connectedness and the signal of threading a different path with both of them. So same thing, no, like the diverging of different paths, and that's very truthful, no. Great critique, John Marie Sebal. I really enjoyed reading your critique, and I think you are a very thoughtful student for writing this kind of critique. Amazing job, amazing job. Hi kay Jessany May Aquino. Ayan. Kay Crystal Kate Pascua Casella as well. And of course, hindi nawawala ang ating masugid talaga na ano no na audience natin, si Neslin A. Kirod. And this is what she wrote. She said, Kidnadados We Used to Be talks about a bleak interaction with an old friend, as if that particular moment happened for a reason, signifying that the closest they had as best friends before will now only exist on their used to be stories. That's an amazing topic sentence. It's like friendship now has been reduced to only a memory, and it's pretty sad. And the last part, she said, nonetheless, I can say that the two chose their paths in life instead of heading in the same direction. It's their choice, and we can't blame them for that. You speak true, Neslin. In life, people will choose their own paths, and sometimes that path would not include you. Well, that's okay, right? That's what people do. We fall apart as friends. We grow closer as friends. But as long as you're secured with yourself, then you'll be okay. You will be okay. Okay. So, great job sa ating mga cuties of the week, no? I really loved your analyses and your critiques. And dumadami na tayo, guys. 15 na tayo. Thank you so much. Share lang kayo. Hello kay Hazel, Gatan Mateo, kay Roger Reyes, Naira Dagman, and Athena Fe Lucero Viernes. I appreciate you guys watching us today. So, we will now go, no, to a little bit of a review. No? So, tinan natin kung natandaan nyo pa rin yung ating napag-aralan last time about critiquing. So, this is about the critique paragraph that we learned from last week. No? So, I want you guys to determine which of these descriptions are like, what do you call this? Which of these description depict like a certain part of a critique paragraph. So, write down your answers on the comment section. No, ayan. Hi kay Carl Christopher and kay Junity Santos Monsibang. So, meron tayong mga choices dito. A, topic sentence. B, evidence and explanation. And C, concluding sentence. So, I will give the description. Then you will tell me kung saan siya matatagpuan. Okay, ready na ba? Number one. So, begins with the author's name and the title of the work. Sa palagay ninyo, guys, where can we find this? Okay. Sa topic sentence ba, sa evidence explanation, or sa concluding sentence? What do you think? Okay. So this is usually the part where we introduce the work and the author who wrote it. No? Importante ito kasi we would like to recognize right away, no, na ito yung pinag-uusapan natin. This is the work that we will be examining or critiquing. Keith RG said, "Hey, Keith RG, you're amazing. Just saying that it's so true." Sino pa kaya? A ba? Sa palagay niyo ba topic sentence? Okay. Well, let's see the answer anyways. And the answer is yes. Topic sentence on the get go. Your first sentence should be you introducing your the author and the work, and then what your critique or what you think of the work. So yun talaga dapat pinaka-umpisa mo. So parang thesis statement mo siya. Okay, next. Number two. This reminds your readers about the argument you are trying to prove. No? So, kung yung topic sentence, we are introducing our argument, which part natin makikita yung remind natin or reinforce natin yung argument natin? Where do you think it is? Okay. Ang daming dumadaan dito ng mga mga sakyan ng mga kandidato na may jingle sila. So, so hi pala kay Myra Lorenzo and kay Christine Talosig and kay Cazel Esteban. So what do you guys think? What is your answer? Okay. Sabi ni Hazel, Gatan Mateo, C daw, concluding sentence. Let's see. Sabi naman ni Myra, B daw. So the answer is actually C. No, this is important, guys. No, in the topic sentence, you tell us what your argument is, and then in the concluding sentence, you tell us again what your argument is, just to kind of reinstate or reinforce your argument, para magkaroon siya ng full circle. No, it's very satisfying for your readers to do that. No, okay, thank you, tama rin si Keith RG. Number three, you may use in-text citations or summaries as pieces of evidence in this part of your critique paragraph. Saan kaya ito? No. So, ito yung part na kung saan you will use in-text citations or other forms of evidence to kind of reinforce or support your topic sentence. Saan naman kaya ito? Sabi ni Hazel B, evidence and explanation. So, let's see. Correct. You're correct, Hazel. And Atira, correct ka rin. Maraming salamat sa inyo. And it's evidence and explanation. Ito yung sandwich natin, no? Topic sentence, then evidence and explanation, and then yun yung palaman, and then concluding sentence. So, if you think it like that, then it's easier for you actually to critique. You tell us what you want to critique on, then you tell us your evidence, and then you reinforce your argument, and you're boom, you're good to go. Okay. Hello, kay DJ Gawili and kay Casey and Cadiz. Okay. So, guys, we will not go straight to our lesson because we don't have a lot of time, and I really want you guys to get immersed into this. So, today we will be talking about how to critique biographies and autobiographies. But before we learn how to critique that, I would like to explore what is a biography and an autobiography. And you, as a student, can actually write a biography, or if you want something easier, an autobiography. So, here's how it goes. Okay. So first, ano ba yung biography? Ayan. So ano ba yung biography? So here are the things that characterize biography. So first, it talks or tells about a real person. No. So because we are in nonfiction, we will be talking about a real person, but it's not you. It's someone else. No, it's someone else. You will be writing the life of a person. So in reality, biographies are often quite difficult to write. It requires a lot of research, a lot of digging and delving into the life of a person. You need to be accurate. Kung hindi, baka you are in jeopardy to like tell a lie. We don't want that, right? We want integrity, and we want to preserve the integrity of a person's life. So that's why we are biographies require a lot of research. So the writer knows a lot about the person, and this is done through a lot of research. No. Next, you describe the person's environment, kung saan siya lumaki. No? From his childhood sa pinanganak, saan siya lumaki, how did his environment kind of contribute to who he is? No? Ito pa, shows how the person affects other people. You will also study the interactions of the person you will be writing the biography for sa ibang mga tao. No? Was he loved? who hated him, something like that. No, so not only you will study the person's life itself, but you will also study how that person interacted with his surroundings in the world. Okay. And then it is written in the third person point of view. So think about this. When you're writing a biography, you are actually it's like you're writing a report, no, a news report, a witness report, but you will do so in a creative manner na compelling pa rin siyang basahin. Ayan. So, now, ano naman yung pinagkakaiba ng biography sa autobiography? Now, everybody knows that autobiography is you write your own story. So, ibig sabihin nun, the main character is the author. No, yun yung main character. You as the author. Now, autobiographies are actually a lot easier to write than biographies. Kasi ang gagawin mo lang is you need to remember what do you call this? Remember when you were like a kid. Siguro when you were bored, you can ask your mom and dad about it. But then you can actually just do a lot of remembering in the process of writing an autobiography. So, so that is recounting key incidents in the writer's life. Now, boring naman kapag wala nang pinanganak ka, tapos gumagapa ka, kumakain kang ganyan-ganyan, no? So, you will choose key moments of your life that are most impactful and most profound. Na sa palagay mo, it will be interesting for your readers as well. And this is written in the first person point of view and really reveals your feelings, reactions, values, and goals as a person. And honestly, what we've been writing in the past, no, yung mga personal essays natin, could actually be part of a larger work, which is our autobiography. So, if you are interested in writing an autobiography, by all means, you can start recalling key moments of your life. No, I will show you some later on. No, okay. So now let's keep moving. Okay. So for here's an example, no, the difference between a biography and an autobiography. So for example, this is a biography. So Aunt Cindy was a big part of Jane's childhood. Jane and her parents visited Aunt Cindy at least once a month. She remembers many visits to Aunt Cindy's tiny dark apartment. It was very quiet in that building, maybe because tenants were not allowed to have children or pets. Now, if you notice here, guys, it's like we are reading a news report, but written creatively. So this is in third person. And then here's another no. We'll see. Now, compare this to an autobiography. This is an autobiographical perspective. So we will just be changing our pronouns. So here's how it works, how it sounds in an autobiographical perspective. Aunt Cindy was a big part of my childhood. My parents and I visited her at least once a month. I remember many visits to Aunt Cindy's tiny dark apartment. It was very quiet in that building. If you notice, guys, no, sa palagay ninyo, ano yung pagkakaiba ng feel ng biography sa autobiography? Can you guys tell me in the comment section, please? Ano yung napansin ninyong pagkakaiba between these two accounts? Yung isa, in a biographical third-person perspective. Ito naman is an autobiographical first-person perspective. So palagay ninyo, ano yung pagkakaiba ng feel or ng atmosphere ng ng kwentong ito? What do you guys think? Okay. Hi pala kay Marie Joy Kiape, kay Erica Petines, at kay Jana May Resio. Okay. All right. So I don't know. I can't really wait that long for all of your answers, guys. But here's something. Okay. If we go back to the first reading, no, uh, this feels like a report, just like an objective report. Although sometimes ang mga biographies they could contain bias, but mostly a biographical entry such as this with a third person point of view feels like a report, like a news report, just like you're reading an article. I mean, the author is kind of detached or medyo far away siya from the reader. So and from the scene basically. So there's this distance. However, in the second perspective, which is the autobiographical perspective, this feels more personal. It feels just like the author is telling you uh, his or her story, you as the reader, and it feels more intimate and more personal than the third person perspective. So that's like the main difference. If you see any other differences, let me know, and perhaps you have felt or seen something that I didn't feel or see. All right. So now let's think about it. So yeah, we thought about that, no, and we've kind of look at the differences. So, in the third person point of view, which is the biographical point of view, no, the third person POV is when the author just reports the facts or kind of retells the story, uh, just like a witness. However, this is actually quite limited. Hindi katulad sa fiction, guys, na pwedeng omniscient, no, and omnipotent yung yung narrator na alam niya yung iniisip ng mga tao, alam niya yung naramdaman ng mga tao. Pero sa nonfiction, sa biography, limited lang yung alam natin, no? So sometimes the author just tells the story how it was observed, something like that. And the pronouns you can use in your biography are the pronouns he, she, it, they, him, her, it, them, and all these third person pronouns. Okay. Now we kind of reviewed a little bit, no? Kanina sa autobiography naman, we use first person pronouns. Okay. Now, I will give you guys a sample reading of a biography. Now, I chose Leon Maria Guerrero's The First Filipino because it's still quite a relevant piece of nonfiction. It's an award-winning biography of Dr. Jose Rizal. No, and I would like to focus on actually the intro of this biography tungkol sa Gumburza kasi uso naman yung Gumburza sa Kamadjoha ngayon. Okay. Anyways, let's read this, guys, and hopefully you read with me and you think with me. Uh, One thing that I would really like you guys to do while reading is to put yourself in the mindset of an absorber. You know, just absorb everything you've read and try to think critically as we read. Okay, let's do this. Let's read together. Okay, the first Filipino. Burgos, Gomez, and Zamora had been stripped of their priestly robes and were chained hand and foot. When friars and Filipino seculars offered to shrive them, the court martial's advocate general mocked the condemned men. So they were accused of mutiny, actually, here, and they were sentenced to death by garrote. This is actually, garrote is you were seated in a special chair, and then they basically break your neck. Quite brutal. The three priests followed Saldua. Saldua was actually an accomplice, and nauna siyang magarote. And so think about like yung kaba ng tatlong yon, tatlong paring na to. But now I want you guys to notice their different reactions, no, the different reactions of being faced with death. First, Burgos. Burgos was weeping like a child. Zamora with vacant eyes, and Gomez, head held high, blessing the Filipinos who knelt at his feet, heads bared and praying. So, three, three supposed to be what do you call it? Three about to be martyrs with three uh, different like actions or actuations in the face of death. Gomez was next to die. When his confessor, a Recollect friar, exhorted him loudly to accept his fate, he replied, Father, I know that not a leaf falls to the ground but by the will of God. since he wills that I should die here, his holy will be done. So that's very noble. Then Zamora said, Zamora went up the scaffold without a word and delivered his body to the executioner. His mind had already left it. So uh, there's this acceptance with the first two friars. And now, Burgos. Burgos was the last. A refinement of cruelty that compelled him to watch the death of his companions. Imagine that, guys. You're forced to watch the death of your two companions. And so he seated himself on the iron rest and then sprang up, crying, But what crime have I committed? Is it possible that I should die like this? My God, is there no justice on earth? A dozen friars surrounded him and pressed him down again upon the seat of the garrote, pleading with him to die a Christian death. He obeyed, but, feeling his arms tied round a fatal post, protested once again, but I am innocent. There's this uh, paglaban, no? This inacceptance of his fate. And then, according to the friar said, so was Jesus Christ, said one of the friars. At this, Burgos resigned himself. The executioner knelt at his feet and asked his forgiveness. And the end, it is like something redeeming, at least. I forgive you, my son. Do your duty, and it was done. And at least at the end, he kind of redeemed himself there, right? And then, 17 years later, Rizal would write to Ponce, if at his death Burgos had shown the courage of Gomez, the Filipinos of today would be other than they are. Life is so pleasant, and it is so repugnant to die on the scaffold, still young and with ideas in one's head. Okay, if you notice this biography of Rizal, which is the introduction was about the Gumburza, no, it was a creative reporting. It was still a narrative. It was riveting, no? Na-feel ko pa rin yung, uh, I still felt the conflict and the way, how the events like unfolded. And there's still the element of storytelling here. It doesn't feel like a news report. It felt actually like a riveting story. And uh, Leon Maria Guerrero III was amazing as a storyteller by doing this, by writing something like this. Amazing. So I highly recommend you guys reading the rest of the book, which is an amazing read. Anyway, so yeah. Uh, so let's keep now sa autobiography naman. We use the first person point of view, no? And in this point of view, the reader only knows what the author or the narrator knows. No, the good thing about the first person point of view in autobiography is that kayang sabihin ng author sa iyo kung ano yung nararamdaman niya at that moment, no? So, uh, this is more personal, no? So, let's see. Hi pala kay Edmar Buta, kay Shien, Dominique, kay Jen, kay Maui, Jeza, and kay Noeri. Hello guys, thank you for watching today. And kay Jamaica as well. Papuso naman dyan guys, kung nakikinig pa kayo. Pusuan nyo naman. Ayan, thank you. Ayan kay Sir Tony. Thank you Sir Tony, you're awesome. Okay, we now go to a sample of an autobiography. No, and this is uh, from Carlos Bolosan. America is in the heart. So a little background here, guys. Carlos Bolosan is a poet slash activist as well. No, who actually experienced lots of racism in America, and uh, I wanted to highlight a little bit of his autobiography here, yung introduction niya din, just to give you guys a feel, of how an autobiography works. So, this is America is in the Heart by Carlos Bolosan. What is it, son? Asked my father, taking the rope from his mouth and tying it to the plow handle. Why are you running like a hound so early in the morning? Did you guys notice that I started here with dialogue and with action right away? So Carlos was running, so just to be so that it will be like riveting at the get go. No, on the get go. I think I saw Brother Leon. No, I said, hoping that I was right about the stranger who resembled my oldest brother. I saw him coming toward our house. Father kicked the dirt off his feet and said, your brother Leon is still fighting in Europe. Maybe he is dead now. I have not heard from him. So did you guys see this like introduction of the feeling of hope? Oh, nakita ko ata si kuya. And then sabi ng tatay, no, baka patay na yung kuya mo. So there's hope, and then there's this killing of hope. No? So uh, medyo na-disappoint tayo dito sa sinabi ng tatay. But let's keep reading. He took the rope again and flipped it gently and suggestively across the caribou's path, and the two of them, the patient animal and my father, walked slowly and industriously away, the sharp plow blade breaking smoothly through the rich soil between them. I love the imagery there of the plow, no, yung araro. Ayan. And then, next. I stopped suddenly when I saw my brother Leon. I had seen only his picture on the large table in our house in town. I did not know what to say now that I was seeing him for the first time. My father looked at me and his face broke into sudden gentleness. Now it's more heart wrenching now. I mean, uh, kasi naramdaman natin yung naramdaman ni Carlos dito. No, next. It is your brother's son, he said, picking up the rope. He is home now from the war. Welcome home, soldier, I said. Leon grabbed my shoulders and swung me swiftly above his head. Then he put me back on the ground and looked blank for a moment. Suddenly, with an affectionate glance at the animal, he took the rope from my father and started plowing the common earth that had fed our family for generations. It's like he never left, no? It's like Leo never left. The sudden sweeping years that later came to my life and pushed me into the unknown, the vital, negative years of hard work and bitter trials oftentimes resurrected his face for me with great vividness. So there you go, guys. At, and at other times, I was to go back again and again to this moment for an assurance of righteous anger against the crushing terror that filled my life in a land far away. What an amazing introduction to a riveting story ahead. No, it's like a reunion, but at the same time, this is like a fuel. No, para kay Carlos Bulosa that this a memory that he will go back to once in a while he will be having a hard time later on in a foreign land. Okay, so that's an example of autobiography, and my goodness, we don't have enough time. Okay, now in preparation for our challenge, no, since okay, uh, we will be giving you guys tips on writing autobiographies because we will be challenging you to write a an autobiography snippet, no. So parang konting autobiography lang sa inyo. So here are some tips when if you would like to write an autobiography of your life, maybe later. Parang yun yung gusto kong gawin eh. So first, you can write an outline of your life, no? Parang checklist lang siya, parang numeral number one, two, three, something like that, and list down all of the major and minor events of your life. Simula ano yung pinaka naaalala mo, something like that, and then you can start writing on those topics. No, so for example, when nung pinanganak ako, sabi ng nanay ko, nung nakita daw ng doktora ako, sabi niya sa akin, ay sabi sa nanay ko, Mrs., napaka-dark naman ng anak mo. Sabi niya. Ayan. And then, that has been like a major theme in my life na kapag nakita ako ng mga tao, oh, ang itim mo naman, sure, something like that. And so, I think that's like a great chapter that I would love to write about, no, in my autobiography in the future, no. So, Next is start with your childhood and then everything you can recall about each year. So maybe 1989, pinanganak ako. Ano kaya na-recall ko 1990, 1991? If you can't remember the year, it's fine. Okay. Now, this is really key. Number four, look at photographs. May mga ano ka ba? May mga photos ka ba nung bata ka? No? Ano yung naalala mo sa photos na yon? No, write it down. Kapag wala ka naman naalala, pakita mo kay mama mo, Ma, ano yung nangyari dito sa photograph na to? You know? And then maybe your mom or your dad can enlighten you about what happened at that era of your life. Listen to songs from the era you're writing about. Nung panahon ko, ang pinakasikat noon ay ang Westlife, My Love, yung An Empty Street, An Empty Heart, mga ganon. Ayan. So cook food, no? Pwede mo siguro request kay mama mo, Ma, ano yung niluto mo nung mga bata kami? So help you remember and write a little each day and see what happens. Okay? So we will be Westlife talaga, Sir Tony. Nung grade 6 kami, kapag biglang ano yon, biglang tutugtog yon, lahat kami kakanta ng mga klasiko. Okay. Now, here's your challenge for next week, guys. And honestly, we would love more entries from you guys. So, your challenge is I want you guys to select a random photo of you when you were a child. Preferably if that photo has like something emotional, an emotional impact to your life. No? Sinabi ni Keith, I'm a fan of Westlife too. They're ageless. Yung music nila is ageless. Sorry. Nagpo-fun boying ako dito. Anyways, select a photo and then try to recall events surrounding that photo. No? Pwede mong tanongin si mama mo, si tita mo, si lola mo, kung ano yung naalala mo sa photo na ito. Then I want you guys to write an autobiographical entry describing the event in that photo. And then post your autobiography entry using hashtag ito ay nonfiction. It would be actually better kung i-post nyo rin yung ano yung childhood photo nyo na yon. So, here's an example, guys. Okay, I have 3 minutes here. This is a photo of me and my siblings. This is actually before my family moved to Tarlac. So, nakatira kami sa Negros dati, and then my family decided to move to Tarlac because of a tragedy. So, ito yung the day before my family left. So, this is what I wrote. No, I was 10 when my uncle got stabbed to death. He was delivering bread up the mountains when a group of men robbed him and left him dead in the middle of a sugarcane field in Negros Occidental. The next week, my family decided to move to Tarlac for a fresh start, mostly for my dad's sake. However, I would stay in the care of my Aunt Ellie to finish elementary. The day before they left, my cousin got her camera, bought some 36 roll film, and took some shots of me and my siblings. We struck various poses with me, mostly just standing awkwardly. After that day, they left early morning. As I stared at our empty house, clutching all my clothes in a striped market bag, I wept. Gone were the clutter and noise. Never such loneliness hit me in the chest. I could barely breathe. So that's just like a short, a vignette, basically, an autobiographical vignette of what I remembered from these pictures. And guys, I would like you to do the same. And I am excited to hear, your autobiographical snippets of these pictures, because honestly, your memory and your life matters so much. I mean, your life is so exciting. You will think that you're boring. You're not. Think about your childhood and your life, and I would love to hear that. Okay, so now in the end, I would like to end this session by saying, Your limits are somewhere up there waiting for you to reach beyond infinity by Arnold Henry. And if you feel like you're not a good writer, you're actually wrong. Using your memory, you can write a masterpiece. So there are no limits for you as a writer. So if you have doubts about writing, uh, stop doubting and start writing. And we would love to hear and to read your stories next week. Okay, and hopefully we're gonna see Sir Jerry. And thank you so much for watching our session for today. This is Tutor Kid and Creative Nonfiction. Take care always, guys, and see you next week. Do the challenge. Bye bye.